The pregnant woman fatally shot in Rexdale's Jamestown neighborhood.
She could be your sister. She could be your daughter, your friend.
No more! No more! No more! No more! No more!
Wagwan, everybody. Welcome back to our next episode of Talk the Things podcast. And I want to thank everybody for reaching out and going so hard on my last video. You know, the amount of followers I've gotten, the amount of orders I've gotten. You guys remember to follow my restaurant page before anything. But we're going to be talking about a story coming out of the West. This was in Jamestown. This was on John Garland. And it has to do with a 33-year-old woman that went by the name of Candace. Now, at the time of this story, she was 6 months pregnant and she was in the car coming back from a basketball game with about 3 other people. So 4 people included. Now, I'm not sure if this was like a Raptors game or if this was just a ordinary basketball game, like a school basketball game. But they said she was coming back from a game on May 15 of 2016 when one of the people in the car, not Candace, but one of the other people in the vehicle needed to be dropped off in Jamestown. Now, they call this area Doomstown. And this complex, this whole area here with the building, this whole area is huge as fuck. And it's beer housing. You know, it has its crime. It's not shy to crime. It's always in the news once every couple years for something big. And this was a big story when this one happened. Okay, so now they're in Jamestown, right? Going to go drop off this person. And I'm not sure if the person was dropped off yet. But that's kind of what I believe from how the story went. So that's what I'm just going to say. I'm not sure. If you know, correct me in the comment section. But they dropped the person off. And now when they're about to leave, they wind up making a sudden U-turn. Now, when they made this U-turn, you know, I guess you can say it kind of shook the people them in the area. Like they never knew, like, you know, what was really going on. You know, in these area already how it stayed. Now, for a car to do a U-turn, they probably thought it was somebody trying to come after them. But it was only one person that ended up just spraying out the car with bullets, bare gunshot into the car. And Candace got shot multiple times. The thing is that nobody else in the car got injured. All of them are unharmed, but Candace alone, who was in the back seat, wind up getting shot multiple times. Now, Candace was rushed to the hospital after this happened, where she was pronounced dead. Now, if you guys remember at the beginning of the episode, I mentioned that Candace was pregnant. So some of you guys might be asking what happened to the baby. Well, the baby had to get she had a C-section done, right? Where that's where they cut the baby out your belly. And I believe they had to do this on her while she was already deceased, because, you know, she can't push the baby out, which is so fucking sad. You know, this whole situation this sucks, bro. But the baby was born and the baby was well for a little bit. I wouldn't say well, but they said that the baby, you know, they were watching the weight of the baby and all that. And friends and family wound up naming the baby Kyrie. So they called him Baby Kyrie. It was a boy. Now, to keep in mind that this lady already has Candace. She has 2 children already. I'm not sure if they're boys or girls, but they have 2 children that were aware of what happened to their mom. So after their brother was born, just 3 weeks later, he wound up dying. I want to play you guys a news clip. I want to play you guys a couple news clips. One with the family talking, so you guys can see how the family was distraught. I want to play you guys a next news clip of the people them in the area just reacting to the crime. I don't know which order I'm going to put it in, but I'm going to place both of them in right now, so I'll be right back.
Thank the police for working tirelessly and try to solve this case, and also to the media for keeping this story in the spotlight. We'd also like to mention and to thank the person who paid for the headstone, and they wish to remain anonymous. So we'd like to really thank them for that. Rochelle was a young mother who was brutally gunned down, as Sergeant Carboni had said, a year ago on John Garland. And at the time she was pregnant, and we lost baby Kyrie. He came into this world way too early and under extremely difficult circumstances. He didn't make it. Their death has been very difficult for us. It has left a void in our lives. Rochelle was the life of the family. She kept us all together. She's got a great sense of humor. We missed her laughter, we missed her smile, and we missed her beautiful, beautiful hazel eyes. She left behind 2 boys, and they missed their mom every minute of the day. We miss her dearly. We'd like to reach out to the public, to the members of the community of John Garland and Jamestown. We're asking for any information that you have, no matter how small the detail is. We're asking you to call Crime Stoppers, to go to your local police, to tell someone. We know someone in the neighborhood knows something. And we're asking each and every one to just search your heart. She could be your sister. She could be your daughter, your friend. We're pleading with the public to come forward. We need some answers. To the killer, we're asking you to turn yourself in. It has been a year, and you're out there enjoying life, and we've been handed a life sentence. We're still trying to come to grips with what happened and how you could have done something so senselessly. You don't deserve to have that freedom. We haven't been free in over a year. So we're asking you to get your lawyer and turn yourself in. If anyone knows anything, please, we're asking you to call Crime Stoppers or your local police. Thank you.
For Candace Rochelle Bob, who was gunned down in the area just 1 week ago today. Leaders are calling an end to this violence as the community continues to mourn this latest tragedy.
There's an excuse for foolish, violent acts and random killing. No more! No more! No more!
Bishop Dr. James Robinson addressed a small crowd at the vigil for the 35-year-old pregnant woman who was gunned down near Jamestown Crescent in Rexdale last Sunday.
This situation cannot go unnoticed.
A number of community leaders who organized the vigil spoke out today.
I'm sick and fed up of the shooting occurring,
addressing a very small crowd with some neighbors watching from afar.
This is the problem. The people within the community, they are afraid. They don't want to come out and their face are showing. And so this is where the changes need to make. I feel that more people should have been here.
1 week ago, the expectant mother was shot and killed while sitting in a car with 3 others. She was the only one struck by bullets.
it's not right. A young woman lie down in a coffin box right now in the morning.
All right, so you guys just seen that. Now the funeral wind up taking place, and the funeral took place in Brampton at a Baptist church, and the funeral was huge. Hundreds of people came out to this funeral to say their final goodbye and whatnot. So I want to play you guys that clip of the funeral. Look, a small clip, and I'll be right back.
Funeral service is being held for 35-year-old Candace Rochelle Bob at the Bramalea Baptist Church in Brampton. Bob was shot on May 15th while sitting in the back of a car with friends. She was rushed to hospital where doctors managed to deliver her baby boy via emergency C-section.
All right, so you guys just seen that. Now the thing with this case, like I know you guys heard the people, the family. I'm not sure if that's her mom or whoever it was, but the family members were saying that nobody was found. Come turn yourself in. And to this day now, about 8 years later, nobody's still not found. This case is still, I think, what you would call a cold case. But I want to move on to my thoughts with this whole situation. And the first thought I had was, obviously this is a sad, sad event. Just because the baby, like this mom, right? She already has her 2 children, and then the children don't have their mom now. And then when when they get age to understand why they don't have their mom, they hear such foolishness like this. Also, the baby, the poor baby that never got to really. It never got no life. You know what I mean? The baby was born. It was only 3 weeks old, but it was born at 27 weeks. It was just born. I think they said 27 weeks, which is just too early. That's about 6 months, I think. So the baby was just way too early. And, the mom never had to suffer this. The baby never had to suffer this. The 2 youths, them that are alive still, her children, shouldn't have had to suffer like this. This is just messed up all around. And next thing I wanted to move on to was people saying that the reason why he did is because there's no reason, people are only left to speculate. We don't even know who the person is. News don't know. The family don't know. So when you go onto Reddit and those forum and you read what people are saying, a lot of people were saying that the man who supposedly probably could have done this was Bummy. The man was Paro because somebody was trying to come after him. And then you see this car come that you don't know, make a U-turn. And, in no way is that excuse for what happened, but that's just what some people were saying out there. Like, was the youth paranoid? Did he think was somebody after him for him to retaliate and to move like this? Because this is just a senseless thing, you know what I mean? Especially for the lady to have died and lost her son. And the next thing that was on my mind was that this is crazy that nobody else got hurt other than Candace, you know what I mean? They said that the car was subsequently sprayed with bullet, which would have mean that the man was letting go bare gunshot in the vehicle, and for it to have only hit her is kind of, people were wondering, even the news was wondering, was this a targeted attack? Because look how much people is in the car. Well, actually, no, that this solves the question that I was asking earlier in the podcast. Remember, I said I'm not sure if they dropped her off yet, but then some articles said that there was still 3 other people in the car, so he probably never dropped her off yet, or whoever the next person was. I'm seeing her, whoever the person that they came to drop off in Jamestown, didn't leave the car yet because they said it was 3 people still in the car other than Candace. So the car probably went to a different area and it wasn't the right area and had to make a U-turn. Okay, but like same way, none of them never got hurt. Thank God for that. But bro, that sucks. You know what I mean? That Candace had to have gone through what she gone through. And for real, kind of, it makes me wonder, was it targeted for her? Because why? But it doesn't make no sense why they would target her, because she's not from that area. From what I know, from what I've got in my research, they just went there to drop off a next person. So it's just why? Just a big question mark. Why? But I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think. If you know anything about the situation, let me know in the comment section if I'm leaving out anything, if I have any information wrong. But you guys let me know your thoughts on this whole situation. And we will talk next time on Talk the Things podcast.